Hello dear students, a very good morning to one and all present or there and listening to me. Welcome to the session, and here in this session, as you know, we have covered the chapter work, energy and power. Now it's time to check the ability to solve the question. So here is the question pattern, the CBSE pattern for the question that is generally asked in the board exam. So let us see which type of question asked in this from this chapter. I should tell you that we have decided to segregate the question in the marks of question. So that means what is the pattern of the board, we have decided to segregate the question according to that. So in this pattern you are going to see the question which will be based on 1 mark question, 2 mark question, 3 mark, 4 mark and then 5 mark. Okay. So first of all just see what is the question number 1. So question number 1 to 3 is the 1 mark question, and you know that in 1 mark question you do not go into the detail of the question, you just have to be at the point. You have to give the answer in very brief. That means whatever the question asked, you have to just give according to the formula, according to the concept, not go into the detail of that. So here the first question says that no work is being done against the gravity while moving a body along horizontal. Why? He is saying no work is done while the body is moving along horizontal and against the gravity. So you know where is the gravity applied? Gravity applied in the downward direction, right or wrong? No work is done against the gravity while moving a body along the horizontal. So if the body is moving along the horizontal and we have to tell the work against the gravity, that means in this direction, above direction. So can you tell me what is the angle being made in these two directions? This is the angle, that means the angle of 90 degree, they are perpendicular to each other. So 90 degree angle is being made when the body is moving along horizontal and it is moving against the gravity, or we have to check the work done against the gravity. So we are going to directly apply the formula, that is work equals to Fs cos theta, force into displacement. So what is force, what is displacement, that has not been given. We just know that it is cos 90 degree, and what is the value of cos 90? It's 0. So that means work done is 0. What you have to do? You have to show only this formula and you have to tell them that the angle between these two directions is 90 degree. So if the angle between them is 90 degree, then that means work done is 0. And what has been asked? No work is done. So we have to support the answer by giving the answer of y. So we can give the answer because the angle between these two directions is 90 degree. So that is why work done is 0. Okay. So this was a very easy question, but you have to understand one thing, that why is this being happening? Why is this work done being 0? Okay, so then question number 2. After the collision, two bodies stick together. What type of collision the two bodies are undergoing? I remember that I have taught you this collision topic in very detail, where I have told you what do we mean by the head-on collision, elastic collision, non-elastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision. That we have covered in the sessions where we have learnt about the topic collision. And then I have told you, when the two bodies, suppose these are the two bodies A and B, they are moving some velocity, say v1, u1 and u2. When they are being collided, suppose they are collided, they will stick together. They will stick together, that means they will start moving with the same velocity. Or here they have asked us which type of collision is this. So that means firstly they will stick together and after that they will start moving with the different velocities, say v1 and v2. Can you tell me which type of case this is? I should draw one more case for you. This is A, this is B, or say B was at rest, so u2 is 0. This is moving with velocity u1. When they collided, Firstly, they have collided, and after that they are moving with the same velocity, say common velocity v. This is the velocity, or this is the collision which we call as the head-on collision. What we call as head-on collision. And this is the part of the question where we have to check whether this is the head-on collision, the elastic collision, the non-elastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision, or which type of collision it is. So you have to remember, whenever the two bodies are sticking together, whenever you will be seeing in the question, directly ask them, directly tell them that this is perfectly inelastic collision. Okay? And why? What is the reason? That I have told you in the very beginning when we were discussing about the collision in the lectures part. Okay, so the answer of this question is only one word answer, that is perfectly inelastic. In one statement you have given the answer. So we have done the second question as well. Let us move to the third question. Okay, a force has been given. A force F equals to 2I minus 6J is applied on body which is sliding over a floor. If the body is displaced through minus 3J meter, how much work is done by the force? So you know the formula, we can directly use it by applying the formula, that is force into displacement. So what is force? First of all, write the value of force. It has been given as 2I minus 6J. So write 2I minus 6J Newton. And what is the displacement? It has been given as minus 3J. So that means S has been given as minus 3J. Now because this is the dot product, so how you multiply them? Work equals to 2I minus 6J multiplied by minus 3J. There is a rule that you have to multiply I vector, I cap vector with the I cap, J cap with the J cap, K cap with the K cap. So here is multiplied by 0 because there is no I vector, I cap. So minus 6J into 3. This is J cap. So that means this is minus 3. So that means what is the magnitude of the work done that you are getting? You are getting the work done as 18 J cap, or directly you can write it as 18 joule. Joule is the unit of energy. And work is what? Work is again a form of energy. So this is 18 joule. Okay. The one thing that you have to understand in this question was nothing but this much, that you have to multiply I with I, J with J. So when you are going to multiply 6J with the 3J, you will be getting 18. So this is your answer. Let's move to the next question. Question 1 to 3 were the 1 mark question, and now we will see 3 to 5 are the 2 marks question. So question number 4 says that the kinetic energy of a body is increased by 300%. So find the percentage increase in momentum. Can you tell me what is the relation between kinetic energy and momentum? If not, then we will be doing it together. Okay, sorry. Kinetic energy is increased by 300%. Suppose initial kinetic energy was K. Now in the question it has been given, it has been increased by 300%. So the final kinetic energy, let's say 300% of initial kinetic energy plus, because it has been increased, so the final kinetic energy will be initial kinetic energy plus which has been increased, the increased term, that means 300% of K. So you will be having 3K plus K. So final kinetic energy with u is 4k. Now say initial velocity was v and final velocity is v dash. If I am saying so, can I write this kinetic energy like half mv square? Okay, and can I write this 4 times of k, that means it is 4 into half mv square. Okay, now what we have to do? We have to find out the change in the momentum. Change in momentum can be found out as that we have to find. Not only the change, we have to find out the percentage change. So initial momentum was P equals to mv, that means mass into velocity. This was the initial momentum. Final momentum says P dash equals to m into v dash, that means with the final velocity. So if you are going to find out the percentage change in that, what you will be doing? You have to directly apply one thing, that is P minus P dash upon P into 100. This is the formula that you have to use whenever you will be asking the percentage change. Percentage change in anything, in volume, in height, in anything. In your home, if you are doing the calculation for something, for in banking, and you have to find the percentage change, so you can apply this formula, that means the changed value minus the initial value upon the initial value into 100. This is a very important formula that you have to remember whenever you are going to check the percentage increase. Okay, so initial momentum was P equals to mv, final momentum was P dash equals to mv dash. Now what I can do? I can apply one thing. I know that my initial kinetic energy was half mv square and the final kinetic energy was 4 into half mv square. So that means it is 2 into mv square. Okay. Now I can do one thing to find out this momentum into velocity. I can write this as m into v. Yeah, right. How can I relate this kinetic energy with the momentum? To correlate with that, we can do one thing. We are just using this formula half mv square and the 2mv square. We have seen that the momentum has been, we have to check the momentum, and we know that the kinetic energy has been increased by the 300%. That means we have found out that it is 4k and it is 4 into half mv square. So that means you can say the final kinetic energy, that means if it is half mv dash square, it should be this much, 2mv square. Why I am saying so? Because this is the final kinetic energy which I am writing in the terms of the changed velocity. This is the condition that has been given to us, but basically we have to correlate with this situation. So half mv dash square equals to 2m into v square. So now what you can do? Mass and mass cancelled. You are having v dash square equals to 4 into v square, right? Now from here you can do one thing, you can find out the value of v dash. This is just the value of v dash will be equals to 2v, right? Now you are having the velocity, the relation of these two, initial and the final velocity. You can use this relation to find out the percentage change in momentum. So we can find it out like this. P dash is what? mv dash minus p, that is mv, upon initial velocity, that is mv, into 100. So put the value of v dash, that is 2v. We will be putting the value of v dash here. Into 100. So what do we get? This is 2mv minus mv upon mv. So that will be cancelled out and will remain as 1. So 1 into 100, that is 100%. So percentage change in momentum is 100%. You get the answer? So how we started and how did we reach to the answer? We have started with the initial kinetic energy. We have been given this situation that final kinetic energy is 300% change increase in the initial kinetic energy. So we have applied this situation, and from here we have got this 2mv square. Earlier we know that the final kinetic energy should be half mv dash square. So we have found out the relation between v dash and v from here. We just put the value of v dash by putting this value into the formula of momentum, and we got the answer. Okay. So this was the approach to start the question. Now let's move to the next question. Because this is the 2-mark question, you have to elaborate. You will be getting an answer only when you will be doing the stepwise question. You will be getting the answer when you will be doing it stepwise, because in the board there is a criteria that marks has been given in the stepwise manner. Okay, so the question number 5 says that a ball of mass 0.5 kg, let me draw along with this question. This is a ball of mass 0.5 kg. It is moving with a velocity of 15 meter per second. 15 meter per second. Undergoes a head-on collision with another ball of unknown mass at rest. So let us draw unknown ball. This was unknown ball which was placed at rest. U2 equals to 0. Let me say U1 equals to initial velocity equals to 15 meter per second. It undergoes a head-on collision with another ball of unknown mass. We don't know the mass of this body. Say this is A and this is B. This is unknown mass. After collision, it rebounds with a velocity of 5 meter per second. So what did happen? When they started moving with the different velocity, now this is A and this is B, they are saying that A started moving the rebound with the velocity of 5 meter per second. So that means it is V1 equals to 5 meter per second. Is it visible to you? Okay. So find the mass of another ball. We have to find out the mass of the ball B. Now let me tell you one thing, because this is a 2-mark question, you are not supposed to do the derivation part over here. You just have to remember one formula which I have told you when we were doing the derivation of the head-on collision, and that formula is V1. That means final velocity of first body is equals to m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 u2 upon m1 plus m2. Now this is the formula that you should remember. This is the final velocity of first body. This is the formula that we have done in the derivation part. When you are knowing this formula, you can just put the value of these two things and you will be getting the value of whatever you want to find. So in the question we have been given u2 equals to 0. When you will be putting u2 equals to 0 in this particular, so that means this will become 0, because you are having the multiplication with u2. This term will become 0. So you are left with V1 has been given as 15 meter per second. Okay. Sorry. This is V1. V1 has been given as 5 meter per second. Right. Now M1 minus M2. M1 has been given as 0.5 kg. M2 we didn't know about. We have to find the value of M2 upon M1 plus M2. So 0.5 plus M2. Now multiply it with U1. U1 has been given as 15 meter per second. You are having only this much. So do one thing, cancel this 5 with this, 3 times it will be cancelled. So what you will be left with, come this side, you will be left with 0.5. Okay, so multiply it with this 1.5. Let's say this is 1 over here. This is 0.5 multiplied by 3, 1.5 minus 3 m2 upon 0.5 plus m2. or you will be left with 0.5 plus m2 equals to 1.5 minus 3 m2. So now what you can do, you can easily find the value of m2 from here. Okay, 3m2 plus m2, 4m2. 3m2 plus m2, 4m2, 1.5 minus 0.5. So what do you left with? 1. So m2 will be what? 1 by 4. Now I think we should check whether we have done any mistake over here or not. So to do that, what we have did, we have put the value of this over here. So we are left with 3 multiplied by 0.5, that is 1.5 minus 3 m2, okay, 0.5 plus m2. Yeah, we have reached up to here, we are correct. So now from here, this is minus 3 m2, when you will be bring over here 4 m2, and we are left with 1.5 minus 0.5. So from here, you are having 4 m2 equals to 1.5 minus 0.5, that is 1. So m2 is coming out to be 1 by 4. This is just a calculation part. You can check the calculation part. I have told you the approach, how to start the question, how to begin the question. This is the formula that you are going to use. Okay. Or I think I should have do this thing. I should have make a correction that when you are multiplying this thing, then it should be multiplied with the whole of terms. So this 3 will be multiplied with all of these terms above and in the denominator. Will it be same or will it be different? That you have to check. So find out the value of m2 from here, whether it will be coming out to be 1 kg, or I have shown you that it will be came out to be 1 by 4 kg. This you have to check. This is your homework that you have to do. I have given you the answer, both the answers. Now you have to check, and now you have to check what is the reason why we are getting these two answers. Okay. And remember this formula that I have told you. This is the very important formula. Without knowing this formula, you cannot do this question. Question number 6 to 7 are 3 marks question. A car of mass 1000 kg travels along horizontal straight road with its engine working at a constant rate of 20 kilowatt. Okay, so mass has been given as 1000 kg. Power has been given as 20 kilowatt, or I should write it in watt. The resistance to motion of the car is 600 Newton. So R is 600 Newton. Find the acceleration of the car at an instant when its speed is 25 meter per second. What do we have to find? We have to find the acceleration. Now this is a very simple question. You just have to see which formula should we apply. In the question, just look at over here. Power has been given. Okay, V has been given. Now you see, if you want to find out the acceleration, mass has been given. You can apply the formula of force equals to mass into acceleration. But for that, you don't know what is the force. Now to find out the force, we are having power and velocity. So there is one formula which is related to the power and velocity. So power equals to force into velocity. Yeah. So to find out the force, it will be power upon velocity. Power has been given as 20,000. 20,000 divided by velocity 25. So this force will come out to be 800 Newton. Okay. Now when you are having this force with you and you have to find out the acceleration, now it becomes very much easier for you to apply this formula, that is force equals to mass into acceleration. You know the value of mass, you know the value of force, you can find out the value of A. But in the question, it has been given as the resistance to the motion of the car is 600 Newton. So that means when this much force will be applied, 800 Newton, there will be a resistance that will be decreasing the motion of the car. So that means Net force, let me just write it as net force will be equals to 800 minus that resistance, that is 600. So that means it is 200 Newton, right? Now you can put this value of 200 Newton in this formula to find out the acceleration. So acceleration from here is force upon mass. Force is 200 and what is the mass? It is given as 1000 kg. So put this here over here, 0.2. So that means acceleration is 0.2 meter per second square. Okay. The question was very easy, but you have to learn out the formula if you know the formula, and if you know the concept that if the resistance is being given, that you have to subtract from the net force, subtract from the force. Okay. So you have found out the acceleration. Now begin with the next question. Calculate the velocity of the bob of a simple pendulum at its mean position if it is able to rise to a vertical height of 10 centimeter. Now to make a bob, make a simple pendulum, I should draw the figure before you. Say this is the bob at its mean position. This is bob A. When it is moving at this particular ends, like over here and over here. Okay, this is the mean position and these are the end position. Now in the question we have to calculate the velocity of the bob of a simple pendulum at its mean position, that means here, if it is able to rise to a vertical height of 10 centimeter. That means if it is moving over here with velocity v, say this is velocity v, it is raising to the height of 10 centimeter. This has been given and we have to calculate the velocity. Now to calculate the velocity, I should tell you one thing. When this bob is moving with some velocity, it is having some kinetic energy with it. When it is reached to this particular point, whole of the kinetic energy is being converted into the potential energy. Because if you are having a pendulum with you, see this is a pendulum. Now this is in motion like this. Here if I am providing force, it is moving with velocity, some velocity, that means it is having the kinetic energy. But after reaching at this particular end, it has been at the position of rest. That means it has been converted into, the kinetic energy has been converted into the potential energy. Potential energy is what? The energy possessed by the body due to its position. So that means the kinetic energy is being converted into the potential energy over here. So we can say loss in kinetic energy equals to gain in potential energy. So what was the kinetic energy? It was half mv square equals to potential energy, that is mgh. Now because we want to find the value of v, this is the formula and this is the answer of the question. Question was of 3 marks, but it was a very easy question because in this question, first of all you have to show this diagram, because if you are saying, if they are giving in the 3 marks, that means you have to make a particular diagram very neatly and you have to show them what you are giving to us. You have been given the velocity as 10 centimeter. Now you can put the value, it has been given as 2 into g. Now see, g has been given as 980 centimeter per second square. So you will be putting the value of g as 980 and h has been given as 10 centimeter. Both the values has been given in centimeter. So over here your v will be 140 centimeter, per second. Okay. Now this is the answer. If you are not approaching to the correct formula, you will not approach to the correct answer. That was the base of the question that you have to understand. Okay, now move to the next question. Question number 8 to 9, they are 4 marks question. A particle of mass m moves in a straight line with the retardation proportional to its displacement. That means what? Retardation is proportional to its displacement. Let us say the acceleration was a. So what do we mean by the retardation? That means the acceleration is being done in the negative direction. So it has been given as a is proportional to x. But I will be doing what? When I will be removing this proportionality sign, I will be writing this as a equals to minus k of x. Say k is any proportionality constant, and why I have applied the negative sign? Because this is the retardation that has been given to me. Okay, that negative sign shows the retardation. So find the expression for loss of kinetic energy for any displacement x. Okay, what do we have to find? The loss of kinetic energy. Do one thing. Start with this formula a equals to minus kx, but yeah, I should tell you what do we mean by the loss of kinetic energy. The loss of kinetic energy is nothing but the work done that you have studied in the work energy theorem. So start with that. A equals to what? You can represent the a, that means acceleration, as change of rate of velocity. So a can be written as dv by dt. Yeah. Now dv by dt, if you are going to multiply in the numerator and denominator with dx, you will be having dv by dx into dx by dt, right? Now what is dx by dt? Dx by dt is what? Velocity, that means change in rate of change in distance. So we can write it as, since dx by dt is equals to v, so a will be what? Let me write over here. A is v into dv by dx. Okay, you are having this with you. Now since a has been given as minus kx, you can write it as v into dv by dx equals to minus kx, right? Now you can do one thing, you will be left with v into dv equals to minus kx into dx. Now integrate this equation, you will be left with, on integrating v dv, that will be from 0 u to v, that means change in kinetic energy from, change in velocity from initial to final, and this will be equals to minus k will be taken outside x to dx, that means from 0 displacement to x displacement. Okay, this is the condition which we are applying, that has been given in the question. So v dv will be v square by 2 with units u and v equals to minus k, that will be x square by 2 with limits 0 to x, right? This is the integral of that. Integral of v will be what? V square by 2. Okay, now put the values of limits over here. This is u. This will be half v square minus half u square. It is equals to what? Final velocity minus initial velocity. Half v square minus half u square equals to minus k x square by 2, because the next term will become 0, so you will be strict to only over here. So half mv square, half v square minus half u square. What we have to find in the question? Loss of kinetic energy. What is the formula of kinetic energy? Formula for the kinetic energy. So what you can do? You can multiply a whole equation with m, multiply complete equation by m. So when you will be multiplying this complete equation with m, so you will be left with half mv square minus half mu square equals to minus half m kx square, right? Now this is what? This is change in the kinetic energy, loss in kinetic energy, or you can write this term, if you want this term to be positive, you will be writing this as half mkx square equals to half mv square, half mu square minus half mv square. This you can write. Okay. So now you have got the answer, that is loss in kinetic energy is what? Loss in kinetic energy is this particular value. You have to find the relation, you have to find the expression for the loss in kinetic energy. So this complete is the expression for the loss in kinetic energy. Okay. And now this was the 4-mark question, so that means you have to apply all your knowledge over here, because the 4 marks and 5-mark question are a little bit tough. You have applied what you know about this chapter and you got the answer. Okay, let's see what is the next question. Question number 9 says that two balls, each of mass m, moving in opposite direction with equal speed v, they undergo a head-on collision. Calculate the velocity of the two balls after the collision. Now draw the diagram according to the situation. Two balls, each of mass m. There are two balls, each of mass m, moving in opposite direction. Say it is moving with u1 equals to u, and it is moving with u1 equals to minus u. No, it has been given as v. Speed is also been given, that with equal speed and with equal mass. Okay. They undergo a head-on collision. Calculate the velocity of the two balls after the collision. That means we have to find out the v1 and we have to find out the v2. The mass has been given. Now do one thing, either you can start doing the derivation that I have taught you in the lecture, how to do the derivation part of that. Let me just give you a hint, how will be you doing? You will be writing the change in momentum, conservation of momentum, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, right? So from here m1 this is equation number 1. Okay. Now you have to do one more thing, that is conservation of energy, kinetic energy. This I am just giving you hint that you can start from here as well to do the derivation part if you don't know the formula. So half m u1 square, half m2 u2 square equals to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. So this will be cancelled, half, you are left with m1 into u1 square minus v1 square equals to m2 into v2 square minus u2 square. Can you write this as, this is the formula of a square minus b square, that means a plus b into a minus b. So m1 into u1 plus v1 into u1 minus v1 equals to m2 v2 minus u2 into v2 plus u2. Suppose this is your equation number 2. Now what you can do? You can divide this equation number 2 with equation number 1. So that means you will be, these two will be cancelled, u1 minus v1, this will be cancelled, m1 will be cancelled, you will be left with u1 plus v1 equals to m2 will be cancelled, this will be cancelled, you will be left with v2 plus u2. Now you can find the value of v2 from here, that will be u1 plus v1 minus u2. Okay, this you have got the value of v2. Now you can put this value of v2 in this particular equation or this equation number, say this is equation number A. When you will be putting the value of this into this equation number A, you will be having v1 equals to again m1 minus m2 plus this will be the value of V1 and value of V2 will be equals to M2 minus M1 into U2 upon M1 plus M2 plus 2M1 U1 upon M1 plus M2. This is the value of V1 and this is the value of V2 that you will be finding by putting this value of V2 in this particular equation A. Now when you have got these two equations, what you have to do? You have to find the value of V1 and V2. I have written over here. So just pick up this equation and start solving that. I am removing this. What is the V1? V1 is M1 minus M2 into U1 upon M1 plus M2 plus that particular term. In the question we have been given M1 equals to M2 equals to M, U1 equals to V, U2 equals to minus V. So according to this V1 should be what? M1 minus M2 because these two terms will be same, so that will be 0. M1 equals to M2, when you will be putting M1 equals to M2 over here, this will be 0. So this term will become 0, we are left with only 2 into M2, I am writing M in place of M2. Now U2 has been given as minus V upon M1 plus M2. When you will be writing M1 plus M2, you will be having 2M minus 2MV upon 2M. So you are left with V1 equals to minus V, right? Now to find the value of V2, put this value into this equation again, M2 minus M1, again this term will become 0, this term will also go 0. Now you are left with 2M1 U1 into M1 plus M2. So 2 M1 into U1, U1 has been given as V upon M1 plus M2, again 2M. So this has been cancelled, or V2 has came out to be V. So this is the two velocities that you have to find and this is the answer of the question. Okay, now let's move to the next question, that will be the last question for the session, question number 10. This is the 5-mark question and this is what has been given. A block of mass 0.2 kg is moving with the speed of 5 meter per second on a horizontal surface. It enters a rough surface patch ranging from x equals to 0.1 meter to 2.01 meter. The retarding force Fr on the block in this range is inversely proportional to x. It has been given in the form of formula as well. So what is the final kinetic energy and speed of the ball as it crosses the patch? What do we have to find? The kinetic energy and the speed. What has been given to us? Fr equals to minus k upon x. Within which range? For 0.1 to 2.01 meter, it is minus k by x, and if x is less than 0.1 and greater than 2.01, it is 0. So we have to apply only these limits where it is 0.1 to 2.01. Now to find out the kinetic energy, let me just tell you that we are going to use one thing, that is work energy theorem, which says that change in kinetic energy equals to work done. Okay, so start doing that. To find out the kinetic energy, we have to firstly find out the work done. So to find out the work done, we know the formula, that is force into displacement. Okay, so what has been given? Block of mass 0.2 kg moving with the speed of v equals to 5 meter per second. Okay, and the range of x has been given. The value of k has been given, it is 0.5 joule. So how do we use that? Force into displacement. minus k upon x dx. We can write this as now put the value, it is nothing but fx dx. So fx is minus k by x, that means retardation force, minus k upon x into dx. Now the units, the limits that we are going to apply is 0.1 to 2.01. So just solve this question. Again, an easy question. So work will be equals to minus k 1 by x. What is the integration of 1 by x? That is log ex. Now limits 0.1 to 2.01. You can put this value minus k log 2.01 minus log e base 0.1. When the log has been given in the division form, you can write this as subtraction form, you can write this as 2.01 divided by 0.1, right? So you will be having k log e base 20.1. Okay, now to convert this log e base into the 10 base, you will be having log 10 multiply it with 2.303 multiplied by 2.303 log 10 base 20.1. See, in the question we have been given this value, log 10 base 20.1 is 1.3032. So you will be putting 1.3032. And what is the value of k? The k has been given as 0.5. Minus 0.5 into 2.303 multiplied by 1.3032. When you will be solving it, you will be having the value as minus 1.5. This is the work done. Now apply the formula, that is work energy theorem. The work energy theorem says change in kinetic energy is work done. So you can write it as half mv square minus half m u square equals to minus 1.5 joule, right? And what you have to find in the question? Kinetic energy. So this can be find out as half mv square equals to minus 1.5 plus half mu square. M has been given 0.2, u, that means initial velocity has been given 5 meter per second. Point 1, 25 into 0.1. 2.5. That means it is coming out to be 1. So half mv square equals to 1. From here you can find out the value of velocity. How can we find out the velocity? The kinetic energy has been found out to be 1. You can say kinetic energy is 1 joule. What further we have to find out? The further thing that we have to find out is velocity, the final kinetic energy and the speed of ball. So when half mv square has been given as 1 joule, you can easily find out the velocity from here. That will be 2 upon m. V square will be 2 upon m. So v equals to under root 2 by m. M has been given as 0.2. That means v equals to under root 10. So when you will be solving it, you will be having value equals to, value of speed equals to 3.16 meter per second. This was the answer of the velocity. So this was the question that you have to see. These type of question can become in your question paper, in your board exam, in your when you will be solving the sample papers. So get ready for that. We will be coming with the new chapter, with the new exercises. Till then, keep revising these questions, keep revising the sample question. Just take care of yours. Thanks a lot.